I used to not be able to sit in silence for more than 5 minutes. I needed noise. I needed to drown out the thoughts in my own brain. Whether it was Oreos or Sour Patch Kids or loud Pearl Jam blasted in my car speakers, something needed to silence my own mind because I wasn't comfortable in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it shifted. It's not like that anymore. I enjoy my own brain. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it frustrates me, but I think that's the same for everyone.
Yeah, maybe that's the beauty in it.
Maybe that's the beauty of having a human mind, is that it is frustrating.
Yeah.
You have this ego. You have this split personality in a sense.
Mm-hmm. I was always the loudest one in the room. I couldn't be, I couldn't let the conversation die. I couldn't let there be 1 second of silence. I was always the one talking, always the one going. And if the conversation was lost and if there was silence, there was such a discomfort inside of myself that needed to be addressed one way or another. So yeah, that led into a lot of my own stuff when it came to drowning out my own thoughts. I wasn't just drowning out my own thoughts. I was trying to drown out everybody else's and like keep them entertained and keep the conversation going. And I knew that silence was something that made me deeply uncomfortable.
Your thoughts get louder in silence.
Yeah.
Because it's easy. It's easy to have the television going when you fall asleep, and it's easy to listen to loud music every time you get in the car. And
just have like your headphones fucking glued in your ears at all times.
What's the purpose of not having all that input?
I think it filters through all the bullshit and it allows you to really listen to yourself without any of that like external junk floating around. Without 17 seasons of Grey's Anatomy playing in your head or, you know, the Oreo dopamine rush. It's none of that. It's just you.
We have all these things that we want to consume.
Distractions.
We live in this material consumer culture, and these things distract us from who we are, what we want. Without the space for us to sit with ourselves, without the space for silence, quiet, you can't learn about yourself. You can't understand yourself. You can't understand who you are and what you want. And that's been instrumental for me. Is asking myself, who the fuck am I and what the fuck do I want? And honestly, like the answer is constantly changing. Constantly changing. For months at a time, I'm a marathon runner. For months at a time, I'm a business owner. I'm a traveler, a nomad, whatever it is. These labels that I have for who I am change. And then the labels that I have for what I want change.
But just being able to recognize that is powerful.
Being able to understand these labels that I put in myself, being able to understand these feelings that I have all the time is these dogs running around. These dogs might start barking at me while I'm in the podcast.
Ruby, go upstairs.
But being able to understand these feelings, it's like allowed me to find space within my own mind. Stillness.
Silence.
And it's still loud up there. My brain does not stop.
Your brain does not stop. Yeah.
Go.
Go.
My brain is just boom.
Yeah.
Here thing, next thing, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, my brain doesn't stop in like a different way. Like I run more anxious in my thought process.
Can you elaborate?
Like I just feel like I can like in my mind I just play out like every single possible outcome of a situation and then like analyze which one makes me the most anxious, and then sometimes my brain gets stuck on it and sometimes it just lets it go. And it's just like constantly doing that. I would say my predominant emotion, feeling in my mental process is anxious. is anxiety.
That's more common than anything else?
Yeah.
Any other one?
I think I react to things first with anxiety. Yeah. Did you just learn that about me? You look perplexed.
I think there's room to change your rhetoric around that.
Yeah.
There's got to be some space for you to look at that and not be defined by the anxious labels that you have for yourself.
Yeah, well, now I feel like I don't like define myself by them. I feel like I've just noticed them. And like just noticing and like understanding that that's how my brain works has allowed me to be able to let them flow and not get so like stuck on them.
That's fair. Because I guess the first step in correcting any of these internal habits, cycles that we have in our brain is by noticing them.
Yeah.
And the only way you notice them is through silence.
Yeah.
Quiet and sitting with yourself. And I think for a long time I didn't realize how I operated.
How do you operate?
I operate on that go, 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 next thing, predominantly from a place of like desire and wanting to feel something, right? It always needs to be on to the next. What's next? What's the next feeling? You know, parties. Back in the day, it was parties and smoking pot. When are we going in the woods and smoking pot? When are we tripping next, boys? Like,
yep.
Whatever, ski trip. Fucking hop on a plane here.
Yeah.
It's just like rush. I want these things. That's where my brain goes. And it gets caught up a lot of times on those things, on those go-go-goes.
Yeah.
And it's difficult for me to take a step back and slow down and appreciate what it is, which is why I say thank you all over the internet, because it's a constant reminder for me to like be grateful for where my feet are and slow the fuck down.
Yeah, it gives you that moment to just kind of like be here.
Yeah, because my predominant emotion, I don't know if it's not anxiety, but I've gotten this go, go, go. I don't know exactly what it's from. I think it's instilled by our parents in a way, and I've taken my mom's traits and my dad's traits and created myself from them. But I think there's elements of my mom and how she worries. I overthink things. I have to think things 100 times through to make a decision, and that's something I'm working on, is making quick and definite decisions on things and not overthinking them. And then for my dad, the idea of like perfectionism, which may be why I think so much about those decisions. And maybe that's why my mom and my dad are together in a match.
Yeah.
So, those are just two aspects. There are a lot deeper people than worry and perfectionism.
Yeah.
But
yeah. If you had to just put two big labels on people.
Two things that I feel that I've gotten myself, that they've instilled in me, not as a bad thing, but as things that I need to understand and work on so that I can master myself and master my life going forward.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting thing to sort of navigate because it is always changing as well. Like it's never staying the same. But as soon as you unlock that level of self-awareness for yourself to be able to go in and sit in silence and reflect, it is a remarkable tool for the rest of your life, because having those moments to sit with yourself just allow you to do like a little check-in, a little drop into how's Deanna feeling today.
Sometimes I feel disconnected without it. For me, a tool that I use often is driving in silence, because the days get so hectic. I'm going here and going there, and day starts going to the gym and doing yoga or creating a mandala, and then I'm working all day, plugging away at my computer, fucking client calls, this, that, cooking lunch, doing the same thing all afternoon. Then we're off to jujitsu. I'm calling you. It's like my brain's just input, overload. And for me, it's just turn the music off.
Yeah.
Turn the podcast off. Let me hear what's up here.
Yeah.
Because
Instead of
all
just,
those
like,
thoughts,
fill,
exactly, because all
yeah.
those thoughts just bounce around my brain all the time. If I don't give myself the space to say, hey, just listen to us.
Yeah. And like, I feel like now more than ever, there's so much media to be consumed, and it's so easy to consume it. It's so easy to shut your brain off and scroll on your phone. We are all victims of that. I'm 100% a victim of that. It is so, there's something really numbing about being able to sit there and scroll through your phone. It's a type of that filling into your brain that offers you like a weird convoluted sense of like peace, but it's not peaceful. It's like a fake peace. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like being able to shut off, right? That's the feeling. You just shut off and you're just kind of mindlessly scrolling on the phone, looking at other people's lives, but you're not shutting off. You're just filling the space with the scroll.
Well, I think a lot of people are not in touch with themselves, so they need to fill the space because, like we started this off with, is people are uncomfortable in silence.
Yeah.
So it's easier for people to fill the space with nonsense.
Yeah.
Than sit with themselves and feel it. And like even now, for me, sometimes I'm like, why am I sitting? Why do I need to sit quietly?
You catch yourself in it.
Why do I need to sit quietly?
Mm-hmm.
I ask I almost fight with myself. It's like, oh, you don't need to do this right now. You should be filling up your Google Calendar. You should be sending people outreach on LinkedIn to get more jobs, or you should be calling your friend, or you should be listening to a podcast and learning something right now. It's like, dude, just fucking settle down.
Yeah, well, your brain tries to like play tricks on you almost. Like it's really good at excusing things.
Yeah.
My brain's really good at excusing things, and the excuses seem valid. It's like, that is valid. Like, I should be sending emails instead of sitting in silence. But like, no, like I just need a moment.
Yeah. It's our brains play tricks on us.
Yeah.
Our brains absolutely play tricks on us, and a part of this human journey is to not be at the mercy of your own mind.
Mm-hmm.
This is your mind. It's not outside of you. It's within you, right? And this is our faculty to create, to understand, to learn about ourselves, about the world. And we're tasked with utilizing this and mastering this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're at the mercy of your mind, you're no better. You're no greater than your external circumstances. You're no greater than the world at all. Mm-hmm. And you're at the mercy of the world if you're at the mercy of your mind.
And that's why cultivating the relationship with yourself is so important, because you start to learn that you are not at the mercy of your mind, and you're able to differentiate those little tricks your mind starts to play on you, or those little excuses your mind gives you. You're able to go in and filter through the bullshit your mind feeds you.
And our mind feeds us bullshit because it just wants to be noticed.
Yeah.
Our mind feeds us bullshit all day because it wants us to pay attention to it. Mm-hmm. So when we sit there and turn Netflix on,
you're still not paying attention to it.
Or we put loud music on in the car, the reason it wants you to do that is because it's got all this stuff in here that it wants you to process. Your mind wants you to say, it's saying, hey, look at me. Mm-hmm. But we're just going, let's turn the volume up on the outside so we don't need to feel it within. Mm-hmm. Right? And and right there, you're no better than the world. You're no greater than the world. As we're walking into the food store yesterday, we're saying, it's crazy how people have these addictions. People are constantly addicted to things. Mm-hmm. And I've been at the mercy of it. I've been addicted to a lot of things. I've been addicted to nicotine. I've been addicted to weed. I've been addicted to partying. I've been addicted to Netflix. Mm-hmm. I've been addicted to all these different vices. I've been addicted to sugar. I've been addicted to so many things. Mm-hmm. And it takes you stepping out of the comfort zone, takes you placing awareness in that to rise above the physical world, mm-hmm. to know that you are not at the mercy of your mind. You're not at the mercy of the world, but you are the master of your reality.
Yeah. We were talking when we were leaving the food store yesterday, like You're either a victim of the world or you're out of it. And we've both been victims. And it's a lot of people are victims. And I really think that it's like all boils down to who are you? A lot of people don't know who they are. And you never really know who you are. I still don't know who I am. But I'm learning. I'm creating that relationship with myself. I know more about me now than I did 4 years ago. A lot more about me. And I've grown and changed through the process.
Well, I think a lot of people have dogmatic beliefs about themselves, unchanging beliefs about themselves. So as soon as they come to the conclusion, this is my occupation, this is my family, this is where I live, those beliefs stay the same. And the people that they surround themselves with stay the same. And their emotions stay the same. And they're the same person they were when they're 25 as they are when they're 55.
They just kind of plateau. They like reach that level and they just
because there's
the
no desire to learn. There's no desire to further our the relationship with themselves. And that frustrates me. It upsets me when I see people that I haven't seen in a while. And I've got so many new things going on. Because I'm constantly creating. I'm constantly out in the world. The go is a gift and it's a curse because I'm creating a life of abundance and I'm creating all these experiences and relationships and attracting money into my life and attracting all these great people and great things and just love, right? But then it's a mind fuck. When I go out in public and I see somebody I haven't seen in a while, I'm like, hey, what's going on? How you been? Same old shit. Same old.
And they're just reaffirming that within their own psyche. Same old shit. Same shit, different day. It will be the same shit, different day. It is the same old, same old. You will stay exactly the same.
Yeah. And if you're staying exactly the same and I see you next time and you say same old shit, I probably don't want to hang out with you.
Oh. Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I was there. I was that person who was like, same old shit, same shit, different day. And guess what? I was the same person, constant.
The point of this life is to constantly be growing and constantly creating and constantly experiencing. It's not about same shit, different toilet, same shit, different day. It's about creating, and it's about creating a life that you love living. And it is massively upsetting and frustrating to me when I see people that I was very close with and have a lot of love for just going through the motions. Going through the motions. There's no life behind you eventually when you keep doing the same habitual thing. You become no greater than the patterns that your mind is just formed for you.
You lose your sparkle.
You lose your sparkle.
You lose your human sparkle.
Don't lose the human sparkle.
Keep glowing.
Yeah. Keep glowing. Keep growing. Keep going.
All the G's.
All the G's. Now you could do it, G.
For sure.
It does come down to just listening to yourself and listening to what you want. Go ahead.
Just 5 minutes less on the phone. 5 minutes less watching TV at night. Instead of scrolling on your phone until the moment that your eyes close at night, take 5 minutes before bed and sit with yourself. Think about your day. Think about how your day made you feel. Think about how your physical body feels. Drop into your body. Anything for yourself helps you create that relationship with yourself. And I know it's hard.
It is hard.
5 minutes less.
It's easy. It's easy to be caught in the go. It's easy to be caught in the consuming. And I mean, I told you how I was talking to that guy with the app, the Mindful Buddy app. The reason I was so into that, so interested in mindfulbuddy.ai, I'll plug him in. The reason I was so into that is because he's making it easy for people with the AI. Jeremy created this app, Mindful Buddy, that allows you to use AI to schedule meditations into your
Your
calendar.
Google Calendar.
And then it uses AI to create meditations custom tailored to you for how long that you want to sit in silence and actually go within yourself.
So he's essentially playing on technology, using it to help people be more mindful.
Exactly.
Which is genius, because technology is not going to go away, right? This media is not going to go away. We're sitting here on a podcast, right? And we are aware it's not going to go away. But you can do things like the app that just help you stay connected to your humanness, to your soul, to your being. And that is a great example of how you use technology to stay mindful.
And technology is not a bad thing. Sitting there watching Netflix is not a bad thing.
No.
Sitting, listening, enjoying music, that's not a bad thing. The reason I bring these things up is because it's the dependency upon them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the complete, it's the polarization into just constant consumption versus creation. And there's a balance. There's a yin and yang to this. There's the super creative person that never takes anybody else's feedback and just creates and never read a book or never listens to anything else. And he's so far detached from the world and disconnected from who he actually is or they actually are because they just create all the time. They don't tap back into the consumption and read a book.
Right.
And like
everything's on a spectrum.
Exactly.
Everything, there's a happy medium with everything in life.
And something that I found super interesting, honestly, blew my mind as I was reading The Kabbalion. So it's a book about Hermeticism, 7 Hermetic laws. Was reading about that within the book this last week, and something they brought up was the fact that creation can be an escape at the same time consumption is an escape, right? And the constant consumption versus the constant creation, like I said, it's
There's
a
a
yin yang.
balance.
There's a balance to it. And in the same way that you can lose yourself scrolling on Instagram is the same way that you lose yourself in flow when you're creating something. It's the same lose yourself,
Right.
but it's different
mediums
of it. But at the same time, it's the same medium because everything operates on a spectrum.
Right.
So I found that super interesting, that seeing that, oh, wow, like you can completely become self-absorbed in the creation process, but you can also become completely self-absorbed in the consumption process.
Yeah, that is interesting.
When you don't leave space in between.
To take a second.
Yes.
Yeah.
In either, yeah. And I found myself lost in the creation process because I don't want to consume. I don't want to consume. And then I create all the time.
And then you're lost in that.
Exactly.
So either way, you need to take 5. Take a fucking second.
It's the theme. Take 5.
Take 5.
Take a breath.
Just take a break. Just tap out. I'm tapping out. I need a break. Take a break. If it's 20 seconds at work, it's 20 seconds at work. If it's 5 minutes on your lunch break, instead of scrolling on Instagram on your lunch break, just sit there and eat your food. It will change your life.
Go change your life. We talk all about consciousness, spiritual awakening, emotional intelligence, self-awareness on this channel. I'm Cory. This is Deanna. So watch that next video. We got great videos on here.
Or take a second.
Whatever
you need.
Or click off.
Shut the laptop.
Just remember
Turn
to click
the TV
subscribe.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. We love you.
Bye.